down here so we don't fail up there.
This isn't just another trip, Neil. You're not just going to work.
Do you think you're coming back?
There are risks, but we have every intention of coming back.
Scenes from the film First Man, which explores one of the most iconic moments of the 20th century, Neil Armstrong becoming the first man to walk on the moon. The film premieres in less than 15 minutes at the Toronto International Film Festival. Stars, including Canada's own Ryan Gosling, are landing on the red carpet, which is where we find our Tashana Reid. So, Tashana.
Oh, hello.
Hey guys, I'm here with Ryan Gosling. Perfect timing. Ryan, you play Neil Armstrong. Tell us what it was like to step inside his shoes.
It was an incredible honor, but it was an even bigger responsibility. It's a truly remarkable story, and you know, to be given that responsibility was a lot, but I got to work with his sons very closely, and his late ex-wife, and it was so much help, and it's an extraordinary story. I'm really honored to be a part of it.
I had a chance to speak with the sons, and they had nothing but high praise for your performance and your depiction. I'm sure that means a lot. But what is the audience going to learn about Neil Armstrong?
Well, you know, if you're anything like me, Neil Armstrong was synonymous with the moon, but you knew very little about him. And this movie, I think, you know, gives his life, it deserves the closer look that this film gives it. It's truly an extraordinary story, and what he and his family sacrificed to make this mission a success, as well as the 400,000 people who also made it a success. It's like an overwhelming story of sacrifice and hope.
You know, there was some criticism about not showing the flag being planted, but what was your response to that?
Oh, you know, I understand the frustration, but I think when people see the film, they'll see that the flag is represented on the moon and throughout the film.
So thank you so much for this. Really appreciate it. All right, guys, so that is Mr. Ryan Gosling. He stars in this film. It's a biopic about Neil Armstrong. We also heard from Claire Foy as well earlier, who plays the role of Janet Armstrong, Neil Armstrong's wife. And, you know, this is a film that comes from director Damien Chazelle. He's the same young man who brought us Whiplash to the festival. He also brought us La La Land, which of course starred Mr. Ryan Gosling as well. And the two have made magic together. Of course, he won Best Director for that film. So many eyes are on First Man, how this film will portray a story that many of us know. We've learned through textbooks and we've learned through news articles. Many people witnessed that moment. But this story delves into the personal life as well of Neil Armstrong. It talks about loss that he's experienced in his life. It talks about, of course, the many failures that led up to the man walking on the moon, and so that is also depicted here. I also had a chance to speak with Damien Chazelle's partner, Justin, who has done the musical scores for all of his films, and again, they team up again together. They were school buddies, college buddies, and they say that now they're living their dream, making these movies in Hollywood, but nothing has changed. They're still making films the way that they used to, staying up late at night, working tirelessly. But let me remind you, Damien Chazelle's only 33 years old and has had remarkable success in Hollywood, and many people are saying that this one looks like it will be a big contender again.
I think Ryan does an excellent job. Definitely could see my dad in things that he did. So yeah, hats off to Ryan for her job.
I think the important thing is that Ryan really did his homework, as so did all the filmmakers and all the cast. They really studied this, and because they wanted to get it right, and I think that shows in the film.
And you just heard from Neil Armstrong's sons about the depiction of their father in this film, and unfortunately their mother passed earlier this year. So for them, they said that it was just amazing to see what Ryan Gosling was able to do and to bring their father to life. But we'll be here. You can check us out on Instagram as well. We'll have more from the red carpet.
Well, Tashana, I'm not going to let you go just yet, because that was pretty great that you got Ryan Gosling live just in time. But let me ask you, because you piqued my curiosity when you asked a question about planting the flag on the moon. What were you referring to, and what's the controversy?
Well, yes, exactly. This is some controversy that has surfaced after screenings of this film, and that in particular comes around the fact that Damien Chazelle chose not to show the flag, the American flag, being planted on the moon, and so there was some response. Even astronaut Buzz Aldrin, of course, someone else who had been on the moon, saying that you know, some people saying that maybe this was anti-American or it didn't represent what happened, and one of the responses was that they wanted to represent, you know, the moon landing as a human event, as a human experience and a human achievement, as opposed to an American achievement. And that was a distinct decision made by the director, as you heard from Ryan Gosling, him also standing by that. I believe President Donald Trump even weighed in on it as well. I'm not sure if you saw the film, but he had a few words as well. Some people saying that we should have seen that scene. Now, you do see the American flag in the film on the moon. It's just that action of planting it isn't expressed. So some people had a few words about that, but you know, oh, look here, this carpet's bumping. Had a few words about that, but all in all, a lot of positive reviews on this film.
Tashana, that was great. Thank you very much. The CBC's Tashana Reid on the red carpet in Toronto.